We all use it and rely on it to keep in touch with friends, family, business contacts, that type of thing. But email is actually very unreliable. Now, every month, our online security expert, David Papp, joins us to discuss ways to keep you safe while online. Today, he's here to discuss reducing the number of lost emails. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Mike.
Nice to see you again. So what is it? What's the deal with emails? When you talk about the lack of reliability, what do you make reference to?
Well, what happened is back in the 90s, the late 90s, we had basically the advent of what we call junk mail, spam, unsolicited email. It's got a bunch of different terms. They're kind of interchangeable. And it was actually created and originated back in Russia when they wanted to sell pharmaceuticals online. They were trying to, not some legit and some not so legit. Sure. So anyways, this exploded. Basically, when your computers were getting compromised, they were sending out junk emails. So in order to fight that, because it was kind of a ridiculous thing. Every time you'd open your own inbox, there'd be like 200, 300, 1,000 new emails. We got email filtering. Some email filtering, most of it occurs transparently. You don't see it. The problem with that is...
So you mean you're not setting it up?
You're not setting it up. So if you're on iCloud, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, whatever it is that you happen to use for your email, there's sometimes a special folder that you can go and look at called the junk mail folder,
sure,
a spam folder, whatever. The names, again, are interchangeable. And the problem with that is a lot of people don't check it on a regular basis. Because, you get desensitized to that stuff. But what I've noticed in business these days is that some people, if I sent you an email, Mike, and I didn't see a reply from you, you're out of sight and out of mind. And a week later, 2 weeks later, I'm like, geez, I sent that email to Mike. What's going on? He never replied. And a lot of people are losing business over that. They're losing contacts. They're losing, clients, even family and friends, things that are happening. And so what I'm saying is you should be setting those up. So we have this notion of what's called safe senders list, approved senders, whitelisting. These are all interchangeable terms once again. They're all different. And what I'm encouraging people is to look up what do you use for email? And figure out how is it that you can increase the chances of receiving the emails from the people that you regularly communicate with.
And is it easy to figure that out?
Generally speaking, yes. Most cases, it's a simple matter of making sure they're in your contact list. But not always. Some of them, it's by going and clicking on a button next to a person's email that says not spam or not junk. So it depends on what you use for email. But once you've done that, you're increasing the chances that it won't be caught. You're going to get those emails in your inbox.
Because typically we think if an email doesn't get to someone, we get that reply that tells us it didn't get out there for
Correct.
some reason. So the assumption is if you send it out and you don't hear back from them, it's there.
Yes,
but
which is not actually true.
Sure, no, I understand.
I actually try to make a lot of use of, where you can request a reply.
Okay.
And then it sends a reply that says this person has read your message. I try to encourage that, but I've learned that a lot of people don't actually do that because, I don't know, they want to be mysterious online or something. They don't want people knowing they've read their messages.
All right. Yeah, we could hear and talk for an hour about this, but let's talk about a couple of other things. Number one, we've been talking about the fact that Twitter celebrates their 10th anniversary today.
Yep. Now, on that note, it's not their 10th anniversary. It's the 10-year anniversary of the first tweet.
Oh.
The 10-year anniversary for Twitter is actually July 15th, so it's coming this summer.
There was a tweet before Twitter came?
That when they were prototyping it.
Oh, okay, like a beta type thing?
Yeah, and it was Jack Dorsey, the co-founder for Twitter, and he sent it out that said, just setting up my TWTTR, which is what the prototype used to be called before it was expanded to Twitter.
Okay, that's interesting. One other thing before we let you go, there's not rumors, and we know that Apple's going to come out with an announcement. It's always such a big, Apple's going to come out. So what are they going to be mentioning? We've got new phones coming out.
It's going to be smaller.
Smaller?
Yeah, they're announcing, and we think it's going to be called an SE version of the iPhone, and they're going back to the size of the iPhone 5. But under the hood, they're packing a faster processor. So it's going to be a lot faster, but they're thinking that people want a smaller phone now.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the 6. I love
Me
the size
too. I
of the
do
6.
actually. I can't go back. Like you mentioned off air, it looks so small to compare it to like an
Well, my
iPhone
wife's got one, and when I put it next to mine, it looks like it's a little thimble.
I agree.
All right. Well, whatever works. I think Apple knows what they're doing.
But yeah, I think so.
Thanks, David. You can follow David on Twitter or check out his blog. There's the information you need. DavidPapp.com is his blog. Twitter @DavidPapp.